Carolina BBQ Festival 2026 was the biggest and best yet. That's thanks to our sponsor partners, our pitmasters, and everyone who attended. You raised money for Operation Barbecue Relief while celebrating the diverse blend of barbecue flavors that make up Charlotte and the Carolinas. Special thanks to our partners who helped bring the heat to the Queen City, including Charlotte's Got a Lot, Texas Pete, Coca-Cola, Ben E. Keed, Kingsford, Inland Foods, Ryobi, U.S. Foods, Turtle Box, Good Stock by Nolan Ryan, Smithfield, Certified Angus Beef, Fun Outdoor Living, and Truliant Federal Credit Union. For more details on our regional brands and partners, please visit CarolinaBBQFest.org and stay tuned for details about our upcoming fall pig picking and our 2027 barbecue festival. All that coming soon. This year, Carolina BBQ Festival kicked off with a salute to Charlotte area barbecue restaurants and a night dedicated to Queen City Smoke. The senior member of that fold, that is the longest family tradition of Charlotte area barbecue featured in the Friday Night Affair, actually traveled about 46 miles from Lincolnton. That's where BBQ King has been serving loyal patrons for almost 56 years. And our guest today wasn't there when the business started, but his family was. And now pitmaster and manager Jordan Smith is carrying on the barbecue tradition. Jordan, welcome to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to talk to you. So as we kind of introduce yourself to our audience, one thing we like to start with, I know your tradition is steeped in barbecue king, but if you could imagine your ideal barbecue meal, what is it?
So my ideal meal would be just a classic, which is a chopped pork tray. You know, you can't go wrong with either the white or the red slaw, but I typically go for the white slaw, just chopped pork, a little bit of sauce on top, and then the hush puppies. And I like to dip the hush puppies in barbecue sauce as well.
Oh, nice. That's a nice little nuance there to the order, dipping in the sauce. That you can't go wrong there. So now let's talk about the restaurant. Tell us about BBQ King. What is it, and how'd you guys get started? 1971.
1971. So yeah, we're coming up on I guess this will be the 55th anniversary in September. So we've been blessed for a very long time. So it was started in 1971 by my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Steve and Becky Abernathy. And it stayed in the family the whole time. My dad actually bought into it in the mid 80s or early 90s. And like I said, it's on both sides of my family. My brother works there. My wife works there. We've had, we've been blessed with really good, family members and just team members in general. We've had generations of families come through there where it's been, their grandmas work there, their daughters or sons work there, and then all the way down to the grandkids. So it's pretty cool to see multi-generational stuff going on for sure.
Yeah, definitely a family restaurant. That's great to hear, and glad to hear that it's still continuing to serve folks in Lincolnton. And I know you've got something unique that's going on there in some different ways. So tell what people can expect when they visit. Maybe describe the experience in the order service. I know is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we're known for hollering our orders. So when you come in and order, we are, like an old school, counter service restaurant. But when you come in and order, we holler the orders to the back. Typically, it's a girl working up front, but they'll holler the orders to the back, which is pretty unique. A lot of people are shocked the first time they come. But I mean, we've got regulars that are obviously used to it now, but it's still funny. I even have sometimes where customers will come in and they'll holler their orders to the back. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
And now tell me, holler, what do you mean? I mean, how loud are we hollering?
We don't have microphones or anything. So typically people that are really shy don't do well, especially up front. But I mean, they turn around usually it's about 4 or 5 of us in the back. And that's where our grill and where we're prepping orders and, making plates and trays and all that stuff. But they'll just, you go to the counter service and you order, they'll turn around with your ticket and just scream it to the back. Hey, I need a barbecue tray. I need a plate to stay. And it's just it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
For
So
sure.
now let's talk about the menu. We've talked about the experience there, but what's on the menu? What's the favorite at Barbecue King?
So we sell a ton of barbecue. Our three biggest sellers are chopped or sliced barbecue, which is just a pork shoulder. You know, we're old school. We don't have like a ton of stuff on the menu as far as ribs and brisket and all that stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. We just want to do what we do right, and we feel like we don't want to overstep our boundaries. So we're just chopped or sliced barbecue, and then we did add smoked chicken wings about 5 years ago, and they've been a really big hit. They're smoke fried, so we smoke them 1st, and then we fry them and give them a little snap onto them. So really, those are our only two barbecue items, just a classic North Carolina barbecue. But our three biggest sellers are barbecue, fresh hand patty cheeseburgers, and onion rings, and we go through a ton of all of them every week, daily.
And you mentioned something I heard about there. There's something among some of these barbecue restaurants, those hand patted cheeseburgers that you have there. I hear a lot of rumors out of people in Maiden and Lincolnton talk about the cheeseburgers there. What is it about the cheeseburgers?
It's just high quality ground chuck. We buy our chuck from Tyson's Food Service out of Gastonia, which is a family run business by Stan Tyson. They're awesome. You know, our main thing is high quality products and everything patty fresh that day, sliced fresh that day. So like, you know, when somebody orders a Cheese King Carolina style, or we call it like a hot dog, which is slaw, chili, mustard, onion, you got to think those ingredients like that. The slaw is made fresh every day. That chili's made fresh. Even our lettuce, tomatoes, every little thing is made fresh daily. And I think that's the difference between, you know, us and a lot of other places is we're pattying those burgers fresh every day. And we just grill them on the flat top, you know, just a well-seasoned flat top, and we sell a ton of them. We sell probably close to, like today, this morning I patted, you know, with my family, we patted about 220 pounds of hamburger meat this morning. Wow. And then and we do, you know, close to probably 25 to 30, typically early in the week, 25 to 30 shoulders during the day. So, I mean, that's daily. And then on the weekends, we can do more shoulders than that as far as, you know, the barbecue goes. So it's a lot. And then the onion rings, people love our onion rings. So we go through close to anywhere from probably about 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of onions a week. So that's slicing a ton of onions.
That's a lot of slicing.
It is. But they're good product for sure.
Yeah. And so the Cheese King, tell me you called it hot dog style. The Cheese King's definitely the way to go, right? What's all on that?
Yeah, you can't. So like if you got it regular way, it would just be lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. But a lot of people come in and they want it like a hot dog, which is slaw, chili, mustard, onion, which is, you know, Carolina style.
Carolina style, yeah.
We sell a lot of cheeseburger kings, a lot of barbecue, and then we also have the sandwich. It's called a half and half, where it's half grilled ham and then half cheeseburger on a hoagie bun.
Oh,
I mean, we sell a ton of those every day too. I mean,
half and half. What about a half burger, half barbecue?
Hey, people do it all the time. I mean, yeah, we offer that. People do it all the time now.
Fantastic.
Really cool.
You serve what people want, and
yes,
maybe
sir.
that's why things work there. Is that what it is? Is that how you guys have been able to be successful for 50 years? Yeah. Maybe what's kept people coming back and what's kept you surviving?
I just think it's the you know, the atmosphere and how we treat, you know, each other, our employees, our customers. I mean, I know it sounds kind of silly to say, but it does feel like a big family. And people come in there that have been coming in there for years. You know, we just had, you know, a customer, one of their family members passed away, and the first person they called was me to try, you know, because they knew what their whole family liked. And it just, you know, to me, that speaks volumes. And we just always try to take care of the community. You know, I mean, it just, as far as sports teams, anything like that, we're always sponsoring stuff. And I think just being involved in your community and, you know, just being a part of, you know, something special. I mean, I think that goes a long way. That's how we've stayed open for so long and then just not changing too much too. You know what I mean? Like the only thing we really added to the menu are just like a few simple options. Like we've added, you know, like mac and cheese or smoked wings. And then we didn't start taking credit cards till probably 3 years ago. So, I mean, we're trying to keep up with the times. You know, we do as much as we can on social media and all that stuff. But I mean, at some point you want to, you know, people come in there, they like what they like, and you try to keep it simple, you know?
Yeah, nothing wrong, and it's certainly nothing silly at all to say that you're a big family there. Some of the most successful operations are like that, and I think about the Monks over at Lexington Barbecue, or the Jones family at Skylight Inn and Sam Jones, the Bridges family just down in Shelby a little ways. When you talk about all those family kind of traditions, I did some math early on, and amongst them, 55, 56 years isn't really that long, but where do you guys feel like Barbecue King fits in that conversation of family traditions in Carolina barbecue?
I mean, I think you would have to consider us. You know, I don't. You know, I'm not going to say we're better than anybody. I know our name says Barbecue King, but I mean, I just feel like we've always, you know, been consistent for what we've done. And I love all those families. Like I met Nathan Monk, and I've met, you know, Sam, and I know Natalie pretty well. We actually text quite a bit over at Red Bridges. Yeah, and they're just all wonderful people. I mean, they're in the same boat that we're in, you know what I mean? And we just try to keep it the same. And, you know, it's just cool becoming friends with people like that, because, you know, you can kind of confide in them, you know, the struggles and the ups and downs of just being in the restaurant business.
Yeah, and maybe some of those connections, I'm going to go ahead and get to this, and I'm going to throw a curveball at you, but did I see you on the big TV screen on that Top Chef Bravo Carolina? So cool. You're a part of that too. Talk a little bit about what that experience was like.
So that was a really cool experience. Shout out to Lewis Donald with Sweet Lou's Barbecue, and Erin. I met her there. She's over the Carolina BBQ Festival as well. But it was really cool, you know, just being asked to be on that. I know I didn't have like a huge feature on or anything like that, but it was just really neat to meet, you know, Sam, Brian Furman, which I hung out with Brian at the Carolina BBQ Festival, just like you did on that Friday night. That was where I met you as well.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, it was a really cool experience. I would, you know, that once in a lifetime opportunity is the way I look at it. It was a lot of fun. That was where I met a lot of those people too. Like I met Sam, Nathan. I met, like I said, Brian. I knew Natalie a little bit just from Red Bridges, but we've actually, you know, had a good relationship, especially since the show. I mean, she'll text. She's a hoot, man. She's fun. But it's you know, it was just a really cool experience. I mean, I would love to do it again. That's all I can say about it. It was a lot of fun.
We look forward to seeing you on the show again. But before we move on to talk a little bit about more about Barbecue King, I do want to ask you, you know, BBQ King, that's the name. Now, there's another BBQ King that's just recently closed in the Charlotte area. Did you guys have any connection with the
No connection at all. No.
Okay.
I do know that family, and they were wonderful people. It was funny because, you know, they weren't far away from us. And we'd have customers sometimes call us and get us confused with them, and then vice versa. It didn't happen often, but sometimes I would call and be like, "Hey, I think this customer's trying to place an order, you know, a catering order with y'all," and I would give them their information. But it's you know, they actually started before us, but there was no affiliation at all, and I hate to see they closed. But you always want a good local place to stay open. You know?
Sure. So you explained a little bit about the history of the business and how your father bought into it there. At what point did you start getting it? Before we talk about you getting involved in the business, at what point did you start getting interested in smoking meat and doing barbecue stuff?
Oh man, I've loved it all my life. I can remember me and my brother, you know, when we were little, going up there Saturday mornings. You know, we just loved to hang out. We would, you know, help with some barbecue. You know, help Dad, you know, chunk wood underneath in the pit and stuff. And it was just a lot of fun, man. It's just, you know, you grow up with it in your blood and your veins, and it was just what me and Jared have always had. And the same way with my wife. I mean, we've all just been. You know, when you grow up on something, it's just like, you know, secondhand nature to want to do that. It's just, and even I've got 2 boys and a daughter, but my daughter just started working there. She's 17. And then both my boys, one's 13, and then another one just turned 8. I mean, they love coming up there and just being a part of it. And it's really cool. Like my youngest will come up there. It's so funny. He'll come up there you know, especially when he's out of school during the summer. And this past summer when he was 7, I mean, he would holler out orders and say, "Here's, you know, ticket 35 for you," and people were just eating it up,
Yeah,
loving it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
That's great. Now, okay, so I've got some young boys kind of in that same middle school age
Yeah,
range there.
set 'em
Do
up,
they
man.
ever get tired of it? I mean, even Jordan is in middle school age. Did you never got tired of it?
No, I mean, so I went to App State and then I came back
Mhm, mhm,
and I ended up, you know, just wanting to do the restaurant business. And I worked on and off. I played a lot of basketball and stuff during high school, so I worked
mhm,
when I could. I started
mhm.
catering a little bit with my dad when I think the first catering I went on was in Hickory for a reunion. I think I was 14 years old when I like, you know, started doing, you know, a little something here and there. And then I worked on and off all through college. And then as soon as I got, you know, done, I was ready to come back
Ready,
and
ready to
stay.
get back into the business. Now you're
Yeah.
working in it for real, though. You know,
Oh
obviously
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
working a paycheck. A lot of people are depending on you. Is it still fun for you?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we've got, like I said, we've got great team members. We're super blessed with the amount of people that we have that are
Mhm,
just phenomenal. I mean, we've got, you know, even some of these younger people, the younger generation. I know some people think that, you know, a lot of this younger generation doesn't want to work, but I mean, if they're trained correctly and you know they like their job, which we always pay good. We've always given, you know, free food. You know, when they work, especially like if they work a double shift, they'll get 2 meals that day. I mean,
mhm.
and I think that, you know, that speaks volumes to, you know, I think a lot of restaurants, especially like if you're, you know, corporate restaurants, they're not going to just give out, you know, free food to, you got to pay a percentage. But we've been blessed with some, especially these younger employees that are just phenomenal people, and it's a lot of people's first jobs, and then we've had a whole lot of people that have stayed for a very very long time. Like we still
Mhm.
got school teachers that come back and work on the weekends. I mean, there's other people that still come work night times that are like, I got one guy, he works for the city of Lincolnton or the county, and he still works, you know, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then I got another guy who comes in on the weekends and helps. I mean, it's just it's really cool. Like I said, it just feels like a big family. It really does.
Yeah, and that's integral to the local economy and the local business
It is.
community, and having those young people, getting them trained up
Mm-hmm.
in important jobs like that. And you don't find that in every place, but you do find it in small towns like Lincolnton all
Of
around
course.
North Carolina. So, Jordan, you've been there for a little bit of while since you've come out
Mm-hmm.
of college. What do you feel like you want to try to accomplish in the future? Obviously, keep the business running and continuing to serve your family,
Yeah.
but what do you feel like the future holds for you?
I mean, as far as the future, we want to keep as much the same that we can. You know, we
Mhm.
don't want to mess up a long-standing tradition that's worked well for so many years. Because I've seen so many restaurants where they try to just overdo it or just have humongous menus, and I just feel like, you know, keeping it simple. Obviously, it's trying to still stay with the times though. So like if you
Mhm.
know, that's where I come in on social media and stuff. I think it's big to be a part of social media and all that other
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, I think it really helps. And like I said, just keeping it the same. You know, make sure that you're showing up and everybody else is too, as far as, you know, on a daily basis, and having good health, and just keeping the quality the same. Customers can tell when you skimp quality. If we
Mm.
were not to get high quality ground chuck, or if we weren't doing just stuff the right way. I mean, customers can immediately tell.
Mhm.
They can taste the difference. And then if you want to be busy, you got to keep serving that high quality product, even if it means you have to go up on price a little bit. Which since COVID, we've only went up, I think, twice, maybe 2 or 3 times on price, which is kind of incredible considering.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
the price of everything on us is just
Sure.
skyrocketed. You know what I mean?
It
It
definitely,
is what it
definitely
is.
has. When you look out there at the landscape kind of around where Barbecue King is, it's in, I guess, eastern Lincolnton, Boger City, sort of that
Yeah.
area.
Yep.
Um, when they opened up, I kind of looked in the history there, and you've got some there at barbecuekingnc.com. Um,
Hmm.
Not really much going on. They filled a need. The original founder saw that there was a need for more barbecue in that area. They've opened it
Yep.
up, and you've lasted 55 years. How do you feel like the barbecue landscape in that part of North Carolina around, Lincoln County, Central Lincoln, Eastern Lincoln County looks today
Hmm.
compared to then?
So there's been quite a few barbecue restaurants in the area that have come and go, and especially recent years, I guess people are always thinking they can do it better than somebody else, which I'm not saying they can. I'm just saying
Mhm.
it's harder than a lot of places realize. Like there was,
Mhm.
especially I think it's probably 2016. There was probably 3 restaurants, like straight up barbecue restaurants in Lincolnton, and every one of them's closed. Which that makes me sad because I always like friendly competition and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as this area, I mean, we have a ton of customers that even come from like Stanley and Shelby and Hickory area on the daily basis. I mean, obviously we have a ton of people from Lincoln as well,
Mhm.
but I mean, and even Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte's 35 minutes away. It's
Right.
not far. So I mean, as far as like very very local, we don't have a ton of competition right now, but I still consider like Red Bridges is not far away. Even Sweet
Mhm.
Lou's
Mhm.
Barbecue, like places like that are not far. But I mean, like I said, as long as you're serving a good product and you know, you stay busy.
And keep the
That's the
crowds
main thing.
coming back. Sure,
Keep the
sure.
crowds coming. We're
So,
pumped
yeah,
it.
so we're talking with Jordan Smith, manager and pitmaster of Barbecue King in Lincolnton, North Carolina. He's one of the featured pitmasters who are at this year's Carolina BBQ Festival kickoff. It's the Queen City Smoke. We had a chance to meet him for the first time and capture some pictures and video from the festival. You can find more great festival views at Carolina Barbecue Festival's Instagram page. If you follow Carolina Barbecue Festival all across social media, you'll be among the first to know dates for events and activities happening in the Carolina Barbecue Festival community. The fall pig picking will be here soon. Stay tuned for more about that. Plus, if you visit CarolinaBBQFest.org, you can sign up to stay connected. You'll get alerts, and every time something starts cooking, you'll know all about it. And Jordan, Friday night at the festival was definitely cooking in Uptown Charlotte. Tell me, how did you guys get involved with the festival, first of all, before we get into Friday night?
Yeah. So when I went to meet all the Bravo executives and stuff to be on Top Chef, Sweet Lou, which Lewis Donald was the one
Mhm.
that called me. Shout out to Sweet Lewis. He he asked me to come down there, and we went to a brewery, and that was where I met a lot of those faces that I also met on Top Chef. Again, like I said, there was more at the actual Top Chef filming. But
Mhm.
when I was there, I met Aaron and Lewis, obviously, and they both were like, "Hey, we want you at the Carolina Barbecue Festival," and that was about a year ago.
Mhm.
And I've been excited to do that ever since, and that was one of the best experiences I've had. I've met so many good friends out there. Like I've known Garen with John G's for quite a while now.
Mhm.
I've probably known him longer than any of the pit masters that I know. Him and Kelly are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I met, like Midwood Smokehouse, Matt Berry. I talked to him quite a bit too. He was on the show as well.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I mean, it was just a really cool experience, to be at the Carolina Barbecue Festival with all these other, legendary pitmasters. And I look forward to doing it again every year. It's for a great cause, and I get to meet cool people like you. It was fun to meet you out there for sure.
Well, I
It
don't
was a
know
lot of
how I
fun.
rank on all those people like Brian
Nah,
Furman and
man, you're
Matt
cool.
Berry, and those are cool
It was
people.
awesome.
So,
Yeah,
remind everybody what you serve, because I haven't asked you. I know it's specific in this part of North Carolina. What is your barbecue style? Tell everybody what you serve, because I think it really tells the story of what Barbecue King is from a
yeah.
barbecue standpoint.
So we serve pork shoulder. It's smoked
Mhm.
over hickory wood coals, old school style. It's just a classic. And what I for the barbecue festival, I was chopping it up out there, but we serve chopped or sliced in the restaurant.
Mhm.
A lot of customers will request to have the outside brown pieces, which are that's considered bark,
That's the
and
gold. Yeah.
it's the best. And we chop it into it. A lot of it we'll chop into it. So if you get chopped barbecue shell, you're going to get pieces of bark in the
Mhm.
middle of it. And
Mhm.
I think personally that's especially in the morning. I like to pick on the edge of the meat and just taste it because it's my favorite part.
Absolutely. Now, the sauce, that's the important part of the equation
Yeah,
here.
it's a classic. It's a tangy, vinegar style. I would say it's a Lexington style sauce.
Okay.
It's not like it's not a Western style. It's still got a little bit of ketchup in it, but it's definitely more vinegar based, and it's kind of got like a tangy. I guess you tasted it at
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
barbecue festival, but
Yeah.
I mean, people love it. I mean, they buy it by the gallon, and they'll cook with it at home, for chicken or whatever they're using, and we sell a ton of it. We make about probably 15 to 30 gallons a day, depending on the day, and we just go through it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then you had both the red and the white slaw.
Yep, we give people the option. So obviously we've always done white slaw, and then we did red slaw on caterings, but that was probably going on 10 or 12 years ago. We didn't offer red slaw in the restaurant, which was crazy because it's awesome. You know what I mean? I've always liked red slaw, especially with barbecue, and it's a huge seller now. I mean, it's people. You know, you get the choice, and if you like, coleslaw, sometimes we'll give them a sample that you try both, see which one you like better, and then we can put that on the tray for you. And it's basically the same ingredients. The only thing we sub out for the mayonnaise that's in the coleslaw, we just put a little bit of ketchup and barbecue sauce in it, and it's great. It's a good slaw for sure.
Definitely have it your way at Barbecue King. Anything you would do differently kind of in hindsight about the festival?
Smoke more shoulders. I think we ran out at maybe 8:30, which was, a little early.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make sure next year that we have more than enough, because I honestly thought we did. And I think we were maybe traying them a little too heavy, but it is what it is. It was fun just being out there.
Yeah, definitely. So as we wrap up, Jordan, you've been very generous with your time here. I want to just kind of give the floor to you, maybe the microphone, take a moment just to talk about something that's important to you that maybe you'd like our audience to hear about.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what's important to me, I would say, it's just keeping this tradition alive. I want this to be here for my grandkids and for their grandkids. It's just a family affair, and we love it, and I just wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very blessed to be able to work every day with my dad still comes in the mornings, and working with, I've got cousins that work there, my brother. I mean, I love, it's hard to explain. I just don't know what else I would be doing if I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, it's a blessing for sure.
And that, my friends, is the final word from Jordan Smith, pitmaster for Barbecue King in Lincolnton. Learn more about the restaurant at the website, barbqkingnc.com. You can also find them on East Main Street. That's Highway 150, east of Lincolnton in Boger City, near about where Buffalo Shoals Road comes in. If you're familiar in the area, they've only been there 50 years. Kind of hard to miss there at the intersection. Yeah. Jordan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chigger. I appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, sponsored by the Carolina BBQ Festival, CarolinaBBQFest.org. Visit the website, sign up, stay in touch, and be sure to follow Carolina BBQ Festival on Instagram and Facebook. To our audience, thank you for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. If you like what you hear, share our podcast with your food-loving friends, and please give us a 5-star rating on your favorite stream. Visit lowslowbbqshow.com. That's where you can subscribe to the podcast, and you'll also find our blogs. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll deliver news to your email inbox every week. Find all that at lowslowbbqshow.com. The Low and Slow Barbecue Show is proud to be part of the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. That's where Andrew Moose is the producer of our podcast, and many others on the Mesh network. Find them all at the Mesh.tv. That's where you'll also find the Low and Slow Barbecue Show every week, where I'm your host, Chigger Willard, reminding you that for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
Yes, sir.